Star Wars Outlaws was a game that I played and I really enjoyed. I finished it on the Xbox Series X. I'm playing through it now on the PlayStation 5 Pro, but I'm a Nintendo fan, and when I heard about the port coming to the Switch 2, there was a ton of negativity surrounding it, and some of the biggest YouTubers around just created videos talking about how the game just wouldn't run on the Switch 2, or they saw it and it ran at 10 frames per second, or some ridiculous statement like that. And I decided that, of course the Switch 2 isn't a PS5 Pro or a PS5, but it's not a PS4 either, so I wasn't really too sure about these experiences that other people were having. Maybe they were just looking for some rage bait. Maybe they needed people to drive to their channel. They needed traffic driven to their channel. That old chasing ad revenue thing and stuff like that. But I just could never lie to people about a video game for attention. So here I am playing it on the Switch 2. This is exactly what I'm seeing. You're seeing it. You can see that it's running incredibly well. Moving the camera around, I have noticed zero, and I mean zero slowdown whatsoever in this opening level. And by the way, this opening level encompasses the entire world, this one planet. So, looks pretty stable to me. When I get outside and I use the speeder, it's unbelievable the way the game looks. Of course, let me reiterate, this is not the PlayStation 5 Pro version of this game. I've played that, and it is phenomenal. It is so crisp. The image is so pristine. It's amazing. It really is. So the best version of this game is on the PlayStation 5 Pro, then the PlayStation 5 Xbox Series X. So 100% upfront and honest with everybody right off the bat. But if you're a Nintendo fan, you have a Switch 2. Obviously, you and I and millions of other Nintendo fans purchased the system for a lot of different reasons that people purchase a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. It's mostly about Nintendo feeding themselves with their own IP, building up their brand the way they have over the years. This is why we're fans of Nintendo. But third-party support has been something that's been hit or miss from Nintendo, or it's just sort of been an afterthought. But this generation with the Switch 2 coming off of the Switch 1, a lot of third parties want to be on Nintendo's system, and I think the Switch 2 is surprising a lot of people, and some people just don't want to be surprised. They're upset by it. I don't know why it's so threatening to people that the Switch 2 can run AAA games, and they look really good, and people are enjoying them. So in docked and handheld, this game looks and runs really well. It is so much fun, and it's just sort of like amazing to me to be able to play this kind of a game docked and then take it with me, lay down in bed and finish while I'm falling asleep or something like that. It's just incredible to have this level of game, this big open world. And again, I know people don't like this game. It got a lot of heat, and I get it. Some of the stuff in the open world is a bit barren, and it could have been much better, but technically there's a lot going on in this huge open world. Just being able to render this world and have it run at a stable 30 frames per second is incredible on a handheld that has to draw much less power than a home console that stays connected to your television. So early on, again, first the Hogwarts Legacy port, which was really good, and then this one. These third-party AAA games that are being ported to the Switch 2 are getting better and better and better. They will never be PlayStation 5 quality or Xbox Series X quality, but that's not why people purchase a Nintendo console. So anything else that comes, minus these really great first-party Nintendo properties that we're all used to and can't wait to play, is gravy. And let me tell you, this gravy is very good. I don't have this sort of apprehension anymore when it comes to third-party games and the Switch 2. I sit there and I think Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not too sure. I finished it on the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 Pro has a patch, and that looks really good. But would it look good on the Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2? I wasn't sure. But then after Hogwarts and now this port and a couple of others, I feel really good about owning the Switch 2 for Nintendo and what they bring to the table, and then these really good third-party AAA games that can run incredibly well on the handheld. not looking for a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro or an Xbox Series X. There's a reason why all three of these things exist. There's a reason why there are people who purchase these systems, and there's a reason why Nintendo has the draw that it has with gamers. And like I said, all those first-party great games that have come and are coming, can't wait. But now, with the idea that these big third-party games can now be ported to the Switch 2 and look as good as they do, it's really, really an exciting time for Switch 2 and Switch 2 owners. So compared to the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, Xbox Series X, obviously the resolution is less, the image is much softer, the frame rate is 30 frames per second. There's no option right now for 60 frames per second. I don't think so. But the entirety of the experience is here, and I got to be honest, like it is just incredible to me that it looks as good as it does and it plays as well as it does. I find it strange that there were all of these articles and all of these videos about how horrible this game would be. People said that they played it and it was, again, 10 frames per second. I'm showing you gameplay. You can look at this gameplay as I'm playing it. At no point do I notice a frame rate of 10. 0%. And I've played a lot more of this game. I'm not showing the open world, but once you get out into the open world, you would think things would get bogged down, and they just don't. Now, there is popping, and especially when you're in that open world and you're traveling fast on the bike, you will notice some objects pop in and out, but it is not as bad even as I thought it would be. Like right there, you see those shadows, how they sort of popped in. Little things like that you'll notice if you're coming from the PlayStation 5, the Pro, the Xbox Series X. But if you're a Switch 2 owner, you're going to be incredibly happy with this port, and it bodes really well for third parties in the future as they adapt to the Switch 2 development process. I feel like we're never going to stop with the, oh, this game's coming to the Switch 2, it's going to run like crap, and then the game comes out and the people move on to the next thing that's going to drive traffic to their channel, which is unfortunately always negativity and lying for some reason. But here I am playing this on the Switch 2, running great, looking great, still incredibly fun. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do me a favor, help out small channels like myself, trying to not grift and at least garner some level of subscribers so that I can have engagement, I can talk about things, you guys can talk about things, and hopefully I can be honest and I can give you a place to get accurate opinions, not tech stuff, just me sitting in front of the television playing the game. I'm going to show you how it actually looks while you're playing it without talking about like what's the internal resolution or the upscaling technique, because ultimately when you're playing this game or any game, if it looks really good and plays really good, then what really is the point of arguing? Comparison is the thief of joy. If you ever heard that saying, it's an old saying, comparison is the thief of joy. There's always something better, probably. But if you're really, really having a good time and you're happy, then just be happy. Enjoy this game on your Switch 2. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Boss is complaining that cryo pits are getting into the office.
What can I get you?
A way into your boss's office.
Keycard for the storage room. Freeman's plans that the vents in there lead to the office.